Have you ever picked up your phone to check one message and you found yourself scrolling aimlessly an hour later? You are not alone. I've been there more times than I like to admit. I think we all have. It's a constant pull, isn't it? The endless notifications, the apps, the updates keep us connected, but they also keep us completely distracted. That's why for me, I'm exploring digital minimalism in 2025. Digital minimalism isn't about ditching technology altogether. It's about being intentional with how we use it. It's about asking what adds value to my life and what doesn't. Let's be clear. I'm just starting this journey. It's not easy. I haven't mastered digital minimalism, but I believe it's worth pursuing. And also, I know that everyone's relationship with technology is different. So I do recognize that some of us, we need our devices for work or family or other responsibilities. So this isn't about guilt. It's about growth. So let's define this. Digital minimalism is rooted in a philosophy that encourages us to focus our technology use on a few carefully chosen activities that really support our values, right? While minimizing everything else. So Cal Newport, in his book Digital Minimalism, he puts it this way: the key to thriving in a high-tech world is not to avoid technology, but to master it. So what is it not? It's not about completely ditching your phone or never using social media again. I wouldn't argue that. I mean, I want people to watch this channel, right? And it's also not about living in isolation or cutting yourself off from the modern world, even though for some people it's like that's the ultimate goal, right? Here's what it is. It's about reclaiming your time. It's about reclaiming your attention. It's about making space for deeper relationships, meaningful work, and rest. So why does it matter? Studies show that the average person spends 7 hours a day on a screen. That's a third of our lives spent consuming instead of creating, reacting instead of reflecting. For me, I realized that constant connectivity often leaves me feeling drained. It leaves me feeling disconnected for what matters most: my faith, my family, and even myself. So why am I pursuing digital minimalism? Listen, first one for me is to be present. I want to be fully present with the people I love. Too often I find myself half listening while scrolling or missing precious moments because I'm staring at a screen. Second one is to protect my mind. Endless notifications, information overload makes it hard to focus, rest, and hear God's voice. Digital minimalism helps me create space for peace and clarity. And third one is to align my life with my values. I want my time to reflect my priorities, my faith, my relationship, and my purpose. If my screen time doesn't align with those, it's time for me to make a change. Fourth one is to avoid burnout. Constant online activity can be exhausting. I'm choosing digital minimalism to avoid burnout and create healthier boundaries. So how am I going to practice this? I think the first one for me is to conduct a digital declutter. I've started by evaluating the apps and accounts I use. What add the question of what adds value, what's just noise. I've deleted apps I rarely use and unfollowed accounts that don't inspire me or lift me up. I've even unsubscribed to some channels that I watch. The second one is setting up boundaries. I've set limits on my phone for myself on social media and email, giving myself timestamps as to when I can and can't use it. For example, I check email. I use historically check email pretty much all day long, but I'm more intentional. I'm trying to be more intentional about setting times as to when I can check emails. I'm also establishing, for myself, just times in the day where it's like it's got to be screen free after a certain point in the day. Okay, hey, come 8:30, 9 o'clock, Phone needs to be put to sleep, right? So these sorts of things. And one thing that I've just recently learned, but I'm kind of considering as to what that would look like, is kind of having screen-free zones. As an example, no phones at the dinner table or things of that nature. But these are things that I'm exploring as to what that would look like for myself and my family. The third one is creating a digital Sabbath. One day a week, turning off the phone completely. As a day of rest, reflect, reconnect, right, with God, with loved ones. It's hard at first, but I think there's a freedom that it's going to bring that I think is worth it. So I started with only a few hours, and the goal is to increase that to make it a day. The fourth one for me is prioritizing face-to-face interaction. Now, I am by nature an introvert. So this one is going to take a little bit more work for me, right? But I want to intentionally choose in-person conversations or digital ones whenever possible. Relationships grow deeper when we're fully present. So this one's going to take a little bit more work for me. The fifth one is using technology with intention. I'm asking myself, is this app, website, or activity helping me grow closer to God? Is it helping me fulfill my purpose, or is it helping to build meaningful relationship? If not, I reconsider how much time I give it. Here's some basic tips, some practical tips though. And these are, again, I'm just starting this process for myself. But I would argue, start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire digital life overnight. Begin with one area, like limiting social media, turning off non-essential notifications. Second one is use technology intentionally. Set specific times for checking email or scrolling instead of doing it mindlessly throughout the day. The third one is replace screen time with soul time. Fill the space you create with meaningful activities, prayer, reading, exercise, spending time with loved ones. And I would say also experiment and adjust, try different strategies, see what works for you. Everyone's needs and habits are different, so there is no one size fits all approach in my opinion. And the fifth one is extend grace to yourself. This isn't about being perfect. If you slip up, don't beat yourself up, right? Simply refocus and keep going. And I would say this. Digital minimalism isn't easy. I'm still figuring it out, but what I've learned so far is this. When we create space away from screens, we make room for what truly matters. Our faith, our relationships, our purposes. And if this resonated with you, I encourage you to try it out. Start small, be intentional. See how it transforms your life. And if you're already practicing this, I'd love to hear your tips and experiences in the comments below. And don't forget, listen, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need encouragement to take a step towards this. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Let's walk this journey together and let's discover the freedom that comes from living with less.